All right, Doug Schoen just told me that Hillary Clinton wants to run again. We'll get to that in a second. Fired FBI Director James Comey is taking the hot seat again this week, testifying before the Senate Intelligence Committee. He'll do so behind closed doors and in public. Comey expected to face some tough questions, including private talks with President Trump, where Comey claims he was asked to shut down an investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Joining me now is Evan Siegfried, Republican strategist, author of GOP GPS. Doug Schoen, who's whispering about Hillary Clinton, former advisor to President Bill Clinton, and a Fox News contributor as well. I almost want to start there, but we'll give Comey his due because he's going to go back to the Hill on Thursday, Evan. And what the heck can he tell us that he hasn't already told us, since he said he couldn't tell us much anyway? And it took so long to produce a redacted memo. Go.
He's going to confirm the memo's existence. He's not going to drop some bombshell, as many Democrats believe he will.
So why bring him back?
The whole point is for him to do it in a spotlight. More people are going to be paying attention to this hearing since the Anita Hill or even the Watergate.
Does he like the spotlight?
I think he likes vengeance, and he feels he was mistreated by the way he was fired by President Trump.
So what do we expect to get from him? He is going to go behind closed doors, so we won't necessarily know about that unless it leaks.
He's going to give, in the public testimony, he's going to confirm the memo's existence and talk about his dealings with President Trump, because President Trump essentially waived the executive privilege just by tweeting about and talking about his private interactions with James Comey. In the private hearing, that is when it could get into the Russia investigation and where it's headed.
So you, executive privilege based on the tweets. That's very interesting. So, Doug, I know you have argued that Comey could expose something, could do something, but you hear Evan, it's not going to be a bombshell. We've heard it all before.
Well, to me, there's a important legal issue just based on the facts we know. Comey has said that Trump tried to shut down the investigation of General Flynn.
But if he did that, why didn't he raise that point to someone right then and there if somebody was trying to interfere with the investigation?
Well, we'll see, and we'll hear whether he believes there was an obstruction of justice. Now, the president had the right to say what he did, do what he did, but we'll see what the former FBI...
Doesn't it seem a little vindictive that he held on to those memos until now?
Harris, this is politics. It's not beanbag. And vindictive is the beginning of the process.
All right. Well, good thing you're not defending him then. Let's talk about Hillary Clinton. I know, Evan, you said she needs to go find the woods. Do you feel that way too, Doug Schoen? She's kind of taken over the spotlight for a little bit.
Here's what I think. I think my good friend Evan is right that she should find the woods. But politics being what it is, she won by 2.8 million votes in the popular vote. She's not going away.
Does she think anybody really wants to vote for her again? I mean, you know her. That's what I'm asking.
She does, Harris. She does think people want to vote for her. She thinks she was basically jobbed by everybody. She's never blamed herself for this loss other than acknowledging that her name was on the ballot. And I think she wants to run. She figures there's no strong candidate against her, and why shouldn't she run?
Is she bad for your party?
She's toxic.
She's toxic?
Yeah. Look, I brought the party with others to the point where Bill Clinton was a centrist Democrat. We had a majority in both houses, and we had a strong popular mandate. The Democratic Party, and I think Evan would agree, is now a minority party of hardcore leftists. It's bad for America, bad for the Democratic Party, and I think bad for all of our futures.
Let's talk a little bit about health care, shall we? Because people are still, as they're polled and talked to on the streets, I know I talk with people, health care now is moving ahead of all the other issues that Americans face. It's looming. They don't know what's going to happen for even the next enrollment period in November.
This is an economic issue, and at the end of the day, it is the economy, stupid. When people come out and see insurance premiums going up like they did last year, 125% in some states, they get very worried. They want to have, A, affordable access to health care, and then they also want to have higher quality and lower costing health care. And when you can't get that done, and the AHCA has suffered so many speed bumps, it looks like the Senate is going to completely gut renovate what the House passed.
Sure.
There are people who are very worried. And Republicans, whether we like it or not, even though we didn't create it, we now own Obamacare, and we have a duty to pass a reform.
And I don't think it's going to happen, Harris. Don't think we're going to get a new bill for the reasons Evan suggests. The gap between the House and the Senate, both Democrats and Republicans, is so wide that I think the Senate may or may not pass a bill of its own, but I doubt we're going to get a compromise. And the reason it's top of mind, to go back to your first question, is because Evan is right. It's the Republicans' millstone, and it could well produce a Democratic majority in the House in 2018.
All right. So even within your party, particularly the Senate, Evan, if you could somehow galvanize guys like Rand Paul and Ted Cruz who say, no, you have to repeal and then replace, if you could get them to a place of repair, do you think they'd work with some of the Democrats who are pushing for repair only?
What political incentive do Democrats have? They're being very calculated.
What about the American people? Why does it always have to be about that? I know you guys think I'm Pollyanna,
no,
but there are millions of people
I agree with you 100%.
who are now feeling held hostage because of their health care.
If the Republicans did repair, it would help them resolve the issue, give the electorate a set of principles that reflects what Evan wants, and you know what? It would help them avoid Armageddon in the next election.
What about the Democrats?
The Democrats have offered to do repair.
Yeah, but are they sincere?
No.
Evan's saying they're not sincere.
Of course not. They're going out and they're looking at the political calculation.
Until the Republicans say, we'll work with you on repair, no, they're not.
But do you really think they would?
There are Republicans willing to work.
Yeah, I'm hearing that there are some that you don't.
Susan Collins, absolutely.
Right.
Lisa Murkowski. There's the list.
There are 2 or 3.
There are plenty of Republicans who would do that. But we need Democrats to stand up and say we earnestly will.
Why should they?
They have every political incentive not to, because they want to win an election as opposed to have a win for the American people.
That's
and that is very
all
frustrating.
I've got to say is that if it comes down to Democrats picking up some of those seats in the midterm elections, they had better come with some ideas, because this is a hot issue for the American public.
Let me be very clear.
And another enrollment period will have passed.
I'll tie it all together. First, the Democrats would like to impeach Trump. Second, they want
Is that where you think they should start? I mean, really?
I'm just telling you
Even
where
Cory
they are.
Booker says no to that from New Jersey.
Well, and the third is Hillary Clinton will be back after a midterm election.
The fringe you call toxic. All right, we got to go.
Yep.
Good to have you both. Come back next week.